Hey guys, and welcome to episode 13 of How I Made My First $1 Million. Today is October 1st, 2021, except it's actually October 2nd. Okay. Assets, 231,000. That's down 18,000 from last month. Liabilities, 73,000, unchanged. I forgot to draw the line. There it is. Net worth 157, down 18,000, and again, this is just a rounding issue. Okay, so how am I feeling? What am I thinking? What am I doing? Well, I feel nervous, actually, believe it or not, for a number of reasons. Mostly, I think because of some of the things I plan on sharing in this video. This is the 1 year anniversary of this journey, and so I figured I'd do something a little special. And I had no idea what I was going to do until just a few minutes ago. I read a comment on the previous video. Someone asked for me to share the details of my liabilities, what they are. So I'm going to share those in just a minute. So I'm a little nervous. I've never shared those publicly, and I don't know what to expect. So anyways, in terms of the journey as a whole, I guess I feel good. I mean, no reason to stop or anything like that, or like radically change direction. I do feel called to experiment with income, and I don't have any specifics right now, but I have tried things in the past that definitely don't work, that definitely don't fit my personality. I don't like having an obligation to do something on an ongoing basis, which might sound like ridiculous, but I've tried, writing on Quora. I've tried making YouTube videos. I've tried like having a newsletter. I mean, like sort of. I've tried like different things, like updating a website or posting on Twitter or just trying to do things with regularity, and I burn out and I stress about it. And so I don't want to do something like that. So I'm trying to come up with ideas that avoid that aspect of myself, because I know it doesn't work for me. So I'm going to come up with something else. So I don't have any more specifics other than that, but just trying to be true to myself. So that's kind of what I hope to do moving forward in terms of the financials. Another large category of things that I want to do moving forward is take care of my body better. So like eating and physical activity and exercise, that type of stuff. I've been sort of lazy. I've sort of let myself go, and it sucks. It hurts. Like I feel the pain when I try to do something athletic, like play softball, and that is really like a bummer, like big time. Like it hurts emotionally. So I want to address that issue. So those are some things I'm going to do moving forward. Okay, well, what about this past month? What did I do? Well, today I just got back from a 4-day vacation. We were in Siesta Key. That was very nice. Prior to that, I don't know. I didn't do too much exciting. I mean, playing softball, we got our first win, which is awesome. First and only win, actually. So we'll see how that goes. The season probably will end in the next month, so I'll share with you how that went. What else? With my time, I've been playing a lot of Minecraft. I don't know what else to say. I mean, it's really fun. I haven't been reading. I haven't been listening to podcasts. I haven't been watching a lot of educational YouTube videos for the past couple months, which is very out of character for me, because normally I'm very curious. I'm very eager to learn. And I'm really just sort of not doing that, with the exception of Minecraft, which is like actually a very, very big exception. Most of my time is spent learning the game, learning how to play, learning different types of strategies and so forth, as well as learning kind of the programming language used in creative mode. So if you don't play, you have no idea what I'm talking about. It's okay. But I'm just learning a whole bunch about Minecraft. But in terms of like the real world, you might say, I'm not really doing any of that. I just don't feel called to, which is noteworthy. But it's a phase, so that's okay. What else? Well, I should probably pause there because we got to cover some important things in just a minute. So before I get to the liabilities, let me just call your attention to the green numbers. These, if you've been following along at the 6-month benchmark, will look familiar to you because I had these same numbers here. And these are the numbers from when the journey started, from day one year ago. So currently assets are at 231. They started at 97, so they're up a lot. So up, 134,000, which is great in a year to, increase your assets by 134,000. That's awesome. And to more than double your assets is also awesome, pretty much no matter what you started with. So that's great. Liabilities barely moved, and obviously net worth is pretty fantastic. So the bizarre thing here, if you look at a number like 157,000, you think, okay, from here, you're not even close to $1 million, right? You're maybe 15% of the way or something like that. So if you keep doing this every year, it would take you maybe 7 years or something to reach $1 million. 7 years. Okay, but if you think about the journey and the fact that it's exponential, assets have been growing over 7% per month on average, right? A geometric average. That's insane. So if that continues, and if these continue to grow at this rate, I'll reach $1 million less than 2 years from today. Less than 2 years from today. That's insane. Now, do I think that's actually going to happen? Probably not. But is it possible? Of course it's possible. So that's really interesting. That's the power of, exponential growth. So, okay, time is short. Let's move to liabilities. So, by the way, thank you to Dakar8996, I think, if I'm remembering your name, for that wonderful comment asking me to cover my liabilities. So, yeah, this is what it looks like. It's a total of 73,000. Student loans 23, personal loans 12, credit cards 24, taxes just shy of 13, and other about $500. So let me briefly comment on these things. Student loans, I guess that's self-explanatory. Everyone knows what those are. The ironic thing is that I went to college for finance. So I kind of went to school saying like, hey, I'd like to learn about money because I don't understand it. And it's like, okay, here, take on some debt. So, it's just kind of funny, a little bit ironic. That is what it is. Personal loans, 12,000. Yeah, I basically borrowed 14,000, right, and paid some of it off. Yeah, to make a long story short, when I was working at the Academy, Buffalo Academy of Scholars, I was the executive director of that program. It was a not-for-profit. It was basically a high school. So I was like a high school principal, and I borrowed $14,000, like personally, and then donated most of it to the school so that we could finish out the school year. And I still haven't paid it off. So that's basically that. Credit cards, 24,000. Later in that year, I took out $14,000 on a credit card. Coincidentally, 14,000 both times. It's just a coincidence. Yeah, and I donated that money to the school as well. And then the rest of this, another 10,000. Yeah, I guess we're short on time, so I won't really explain where that's from. But there was one instance where I just went out to a bar with a friend, and for some reason I felt like doing an experiment and decided to just buy a whole bunch of drinks for a whole bunch of people in the bar, even though I didn't have the money to do it. And I just knew that my credit card had enough of a limit that I could do it, but I didn't have the money and I didn't know where I was going to get it from. And I spent over $1,300 in one day on a bar tab, just to see what would happen. And it was the most painful financial experience of my life. Writing, signing the tab, yeah, like handing it over. It was so painful. It hurt my heart like so deeply. And yeah, then the next day the bar manager, he went on Facebook. He had my name from the credit card. He went on Facebook. He found a mutual friend of mine, asked for my phone number, reached out to me, and he said, "Was this a typo?" Because I left $1,000 tip. The tab was $300, and then I left $1,000 tip. And he's like, "Is this a typo or a joke or something?" And in that moment, I had a chance to say like, "Oh yeah, it was a mistake," and just get out of it. And I was like so tempted, but that wasn't the experiment. The experiment was give the money away and see how it feels. So I was like, no, it was just like a random act of kindness, I guess. And it hurt so bad. It was so painful. So anyways, I still haven't paid that off. Make a long story short. So anyways, these 3 categories, I've basically defaulted on all those over the past couple of years. I stopped making monthly payments. They went into collections. And so now I get phone calls every single day from, I don't know, at least 5 collections companies. And I get letters in the mail. And that's why my liabilities don't go up every month, like why it seems like it stays the same, because I don't know if they're still racking up interest. They were when the accounts were active, but then once they went into collections, I think it just stopped. I don't really know, but that's when I stopped keeping track. So that's why those numbers are the same every month. So that is that. Taxes outstanding. This one's kind of funny. I guess on some level they're all funny, but back in 2017, when there was a big crypto bull run, I just diversified from Bitcoin into a lot of altcoins, like directly from Bitcoin into Ethereum, from Bitcoin into other things, whatever. And I never sold any of those for US dollars. I never took a profit. However, the tax code says that when you change cryptos from one coin to another, you owe taxes as if you sold for dollars. So I had, I don't know, I can't remember the number, but it resulted, it was many tens of thousands of dollars worth of crypto that I was transacting, and it resulted in a tax liability of, I don't know, $13,000, $14,000, $15,000, whatever the number was. Even though I never had any dollars in my bank account. So then I owed all this money, but I had no dollars to actually pay. And so I basically, and I didn't want to sell cryptos in order to pay this, because then I would have owed even more taxes on what I sold. And it was just this negative feedback loop, I guess. And so I didn't want to do that, so I opened up a payment plan with the IRS, which I didn't know was an option until I asked my accountant, and she said I was actually her first client who ever did it. So she wasn't sure how to do it. She had to figure out which paperwork was involved. But whatever, it's just a sheet of paper, you fill it out. And so now the IRS takes, so I gave them my direct deposit or ACH information, so they take $152 from my bank account every month until this is paid off. And I think that the interest is already going to be included in that. The penalties, interest, late fees, it's all like wrapped up into this amount, I'm pretty sure. So that's why this one doesn't go up. This one actually goes down because I pay a little bit every month. Yeah, and then just a small thing on the side. So anyways, those are my liabilities. And so, yeah, I mean, like, I have every intention of paying them off eventually, just not today. Yeah, it just doesn't feel right. I used to live in fear of missing a payment, like missing a credit card payment. Like I never carried a balance on a credit card for years and years and years. Like I paid it off every month, every time, always. And I lived in fear of a late fee, a fine, interest. And I was like a prisoner to my own belief systems. And it wasn't until I put a ton of money on there that I kind of broke through that. And it was still extremely painful, but then I pushed through, and then it wasn't painful after that. And like now I'm sitting here on this, and like this isn't painful to me at all. Like having this, this is the largest amount of debt I've ever been in my entire life. And if you asked me 5 years ago, like, hey, do you think you're going to have more debt in the future or less? I would have said less. Absolutely. I'm paying this off. I'm going debt free immediately. It's so important to me. But I was like a prisoner to my own beliefs about money and my beliefs about debt and my beliefs about my credit score, having late payments and stuff. And at some point I pushed through that and I realized, if I have a bad credit score, that doesn't mean I'm a bad person. It doesn't mean I'm bad with money. It doesn't mean I'm, like inferior or something or inadequate. It doesn't mean that, even though I had that in my head for years. And so I said, okay, I have to face my fear of having bad credit. And I decided to stop paying. I decided to stop paying on a lot of things that I owed, and I let my credit go down and down and down and down and down. And so I haven't paid on these things in years. And that's kind of what allowed me to grow my assets so much. And aside from all that, right, it's not even about the numbers. Right, it's not even about the numbers. Like, yeah, okay, it would be great to like have $1 million and like that's the journey. But it's not. It seems like the journey is a financial one, but really the journey is an emotional one. That's what it means to be a human, is just like feel emotions. So, all these decisions I've made, it's to kind of experiment with money, but to feel different emotions. That's the point. Like feel higher highs and lower lows. Like, that sounds like terrifying to some people. That's life. Like you can't run from it. Like you're gonna have bad things happen to you. Might as well like learn how to handle them, So, yeah, I know my journey's a little strange, but it's my journey. It's mine. And I'm happy to share it with you guys. So, thank you for being a part of it. I'll see you guys next month. If there's anything else you want me to comment on, let me know in the comments. Thanks, guys. I'll see you.